Hi, this is Tessa Keogh, and welcome back to Part 4 in our 5-part series of e-learning. In the 21st century, class is always in session. And now, it's time to investigate even more resources. Last time, we discussed a number of resources that were passive or did not require your active participation. Today, we'll discuss a second group of resources that require you to be an active participant and part of a group learning experience, with the exception of the self-paced courses. All of these learning opportunities require a greater time commitment and additional work in order to get the most from the experience. Let's look at a few examples from these types of resources. Webinars are simply seminars held online. There's been an explosion in webinars, especially genealogy webinars, in the past 4 years. Webinars provide groups and organizations the ability to schedule regular learning opportunities at a savings in both time and costs associated with in-person seminars. Depending on the format used, many in the genealogy field use GoToWebinar. The host and the presenter can be located in completely different places. Each can attend online from their own home or office. The presentation program can be controlled and shared by the parties, and there's often the ability to interact with the attendees, either through polls, written comments and questions, or, in some instances, the ability to bring the attendee into the meeting via an open mic feature. Webinars provide an opportunity to have lectures or presentations that can be recorded and archived for the general public or limited to the membership as a benefit. Although each group or organization publicizes its webinars individually, Pat Richley Erickson set up the GeneaWebinars website that includes a calendar, and it operates as the first stop if you want to see what's available and when. The beauty of the GeneaWebinars calendar is that you can click on the link to a specific webinar, GenChat, meeting, or Hangout. Pat, or Dear Myrtle as many of us know her, has expanded the scope of the calendar for any online genealogy-related learning activity. You can learn more about it, register if required, and add the event directly to your own online calendar. As you can see, the calendar can show in a few formats. I tend to use Agenda, so I can see all the information. When you click on a specific event, you'll see the date, time, organization hosting, speaker, and description of the webinar, meeting, or Hangout. Clicking through to more details will provide the registration information, and you can copy the event to your own calendar. I use the Google Calendar, and this seems to work really well. You can check webinars, online meetings, and Hangouts by the date and time in the calendar. When you find something that interests you, click on the description to learn more about it. As you can see, many of the details are provided right in this snapshot. You can add any of these webinars, online meetings, and Hangouts directly to your Google Calendar and have reminders and even share the event with others. In this instance, the National Archives webinar is entitled When Saying I Do Meant Giving Up Your U.S. Citizenship, and you can register right from the link. Now, are you standing by for the National Archives 3-day virtual genealogy fair? Why not subscribe to the National Archives YouTube channel? They're one of my favorites. I'm subscribed. Day 1 has 4 great sessions. Can't we all learn a little bit more about the basics, like those building blocks of genealogy and preserving our personal records? Did you know that your American ancestress lost her birthright citizenship if she married an alien? And that means an immigrant who hadn't acquired citizenship. That happened in my family more than a few times. Why not learn about that fascinating and quite discriminatory aspect of our American history? Have you any Native Americans in your family history? Or would you just like to learn more about the records and resources available to research Native Americans? Then you won't want to miss any of the sessions offered on Day 1, and that's October 28th. Day 2 has 7 sessions. Want to understand the digital archive databases at NARA? Did anyone in your family register for the draft in World War I? Do you have ancestors who went through the citizenship process? And do you have any ancestors who took their lands as a result of federal land grants? Do you need a short primer on Ancestry.com or Family Search and how they're working with NARA records? Well then, Day 2's offerings should interest you, and that's on October 29th. And Day 3 has 6 sessions. Is there anyone in your family who came to the attention of the FBI? Do you have any military personnel in your family files? Do you have any inventors or tinkerers who filed patents? Then the Day 3 sessions are for you. And that's on October 30th. Now here's an example of a genealogy webinar series that's not listed on GeneaWebinars, but is on the Friends of the National Archives Southeast Region website. You can check the schedule and register right from the website. In addition, Friends provides an attendee quick reference guide to explain the GoToWebinar process and how it works, so that you can configure your computer. Where the organization has a page devoted to its webinars, you might want to check their schedule against yours, register for those that interest you, and mark your calendar as busy. All the webinar and Hangout hosts I'm aware of provide a one-day reminder of the upcoming event directly to your email account. Now, Legacy Family Tree, owned by Millennia, has been in the genealogy webinar field for the past few years. Jeff Rasmussen does a wonderful job of gathering talent from near and far to present on a variety of topics, as broad as census records to as narrow as tracking migration using the Draper manuscripts. There's something for everyone. You can register for upcoming webinars. They're live and recorded. The recorded webinars are available for a limited time before they go behind the Legacy Webinars paywall. You can register for free, and as you can see, webinars are offered every week, affectionately known as Webinar Wednesday. Oh, except when they're cruising. Be sure to check out Legacy Family Tree webinars, register for any that interest you, and expand your genealogy knowledge base. From the example shown here, the date and time is in the left-hand column. The title and description of this session is in the center. The presenter is identified in the right-hand column, and clicking on the yellow button brings up all the registration details. Go on, you know you want to learn more about Evernote, and Lisa Louise Cook is an amazing presenter and lots of fun. The archived webinars are listed on the third tab over, and you can always see what's available and what is free. Information about a Legacy Webinar subscription is also available at the website. One of the favorite genealogy societies is the Southern California Genealogical Society. They kick off Summer Genealogy Fun with their Jamboree in Burbank, California each year. However, they also host genealogy webinars that are open to the public. Now, after the webinar is recorded, they are behind the member paywall. But this group is so great and has all kinds of terrific resources that membership, for me at least, is a no-brainer. Upcoming webinars are listed under the tab for Webinar Series. Why not check their website out? They encourage presentations from the well-known and the up-and-coming genealogists and family historians. And they have a great page explaining the webinar process that answers any questions you might have about attending. So, ready, set, learn. I mentioned earlier that online courses give you the opportunity to learn or relearn a wide variety of subjects, and many of them are not genealogy-based. Take advantage of these opportunities, as they'll make your genealogy and family history that much richer. However, you need to realize that online courses require more of you as a student. These courses are usually offered as a series of lessons. Many are offered on either the high school or college level. Some provide the opportunity to reacquire the building blocks you may need to progress to the next level. Khan Academy is a great resource to use if you need to brush up on your basic math or science skills before moving on to statistics or basic genetics for purposes of understanding and using DNA in your genealogy. Coursera and Futurelearn both provide university-level courses on subjects that will give you an in-depth knowledge of history and provide advanced skills for data analysis. I'd encourage you to take a look at the course offerings and decide if an online course is for you. I want to walk you through one such course that I've signed up for to give you a sense of how online courses differ from some of the e-learning opportunities that we've already discussed. This course is what is called a MOOC, a massive open online course. It's open to unlimited participation and open access via the web. In this instance, you can see the start date of 1 September and also that the duration of the course is 6 weeks. The instructors provided a description of the course and the time commitment is 5 hours per week for the 6 weeks or at least 30 hours to complete this course. The format is videos, assignments, and discussions, and the instructors anticipate that some of the discussions will use Twitter. A certificate of completion is available for students who successfully complete the course. I took this course, and I'll tell you that the short lectures and resources were amazing. Whether they were newspapers, videos, movie reels, articles, extracts from interviews, there was just a wealth of information. We learned to appreciate the time period by actually stepping back in time. But the best part of the course was the several hundred students from all over the world and of all ages who interacted on the forum. We commented about presentations or resources we reviewed. Some provided their personal experience as their parents' or grandparents' lives were directly affected by World War I and the Irish Civil War. I made course friends and found some, hopefully, extended relations, at least those who shared my surname. If you're thinking of taking any online courses offered through universities, be aware of any time requirements, prerequisites, and reading lists. These courses offer in-depth e-learning opportunities, and in these types of courses, part of the success is based on student preparation and active participation. Make sure you have the time and interest to devote to online courses. Now, as you can see, I'm a bit behind. Thankfully, the course remains open for a few weeks in order to complete the modules, and the resources are always available to the students. Videos, recorded presentations, and written materials make up the instructional portion of the course, but the best part is the comments from your fellow course mates. Questions are posed and students discuss them. There are also essay questions, although they're not mandatory, and if you prepare an essay, you have an opportunity to provide critiques to your fellow course mates. As you can see, I'm 4/5 of the way through this course. I know what I'll be doing this weekend. Actually, Futurelearn provides some really helpful guides to keep students on track and engaged in the course. If you're interested in learning more about World War I, Futurelearn has these 4 courses either just starting, and you can always jump in late, or starting later this fall. Another example of an online course, and the National Genealogical Society is in the process of moving their courses completely to a cloud-based system, is the American Genealogical Studies, the Basics course. You can see what areas will be covered, what the requirements are, the fees, and the length of the course, and you can also find out that a certificate of completion is available for students who successfully complete the assignments and quizzes. With the advent of Google+ and Google's purchase of YouTube, Google moved into providing a free broadcast studio to anyone with a Google account. Hangouts are simply a group video conference that can be private or not recorded, or public, broadcast live on Google+, recorded and archived on YouTube. Up to 10 people with webcams and a mic speaker setup can be joiners in the room, and an unlimited number of people can watch and comment via written post as viewers. Google provides all the tools necessary for Hangouts to be scheduled, publicized, broadcast, recorded, and post-production editing. Google also provides tutorials, and there are some communities on Google Plus that answer questions about the logistics. One of the best is Ronnie Binser, and his community is Hangout Helpers. Genealogists have taken to Google Plus Hangouts for weekly chats, and a good example of that is Dear Myrtle's genealogy community. She hosts weekly Hangouts every Monday, and you can find out more about her community, how to attend Hangouts, and also watch the recorded Hangouts on her YouTube channel. As you can see, if you click on the arrow on the community post, you can watch the July Hangout and take a look at the 63 comments made before, during, and after the Hangout. And Hangouts are also used for monthly online meetings for societies, groups, and organizations. Genealogical and historical societies use Hangouts for having a speaker attend and present without the added travel costs. Some groups use Hangouts for their committee meetings, and other groups have set up their communities and have help or research sessions using Google+. Using Hangouts to record video blogs or vlogs is another common use. In addition, some groups use Hangouts for special projects. Family Search arbitrated obituaries and answered questions during a Hangout on air. I belong to 2 international organizations that use Hangouts for member meetings as well as monthly presentations on topics of interest to our worldwide membership, as well as genealogists and family historians. If you have researchers you work with on your family history, or you're in an organization that would like to provide presentations for their distance members, or a group that would like to meet online rather than in person, combining Hangouts with Google Drive for agendas, meeting minutes, presentations, and research reports is definitely taking advantage of technology to benefit members. Here's an example of the variety of Hangouts that Dear Myrtle hosts. Not only her Mondays with Myrt, but also Wacky Wednesday, and with her cousin Russ is providing recorded Hangouts that will help you get the most from Google+. I don't know where she and Russ find the time to do it all, but they're entertaining, informing, and educating the genealogy community every week. There are many communities on Google Plus that host Hangouts on a monthly basis. 3 that come to mind, and that's a shameless plug here, are the Legacy Virtual Users Group community, the Guild of One Name Studies, and the Society for One Place Studies. And there's plenty more. Why not check out communities on Google Plus and then see if any of the ones you're interested in host Hangouts? Or, better yet, why not start a community for your particular interest and host your own Hangouts? Just a thought. One of the best online e-learning programs for intermediate and advanced genealogists is the ProGen study groups. Administered by Angela Packer-McGee, the program is based on a small group learning model with a textbook, Professional Genealogy, guidance from a BCG certified genealogist, in-depth study of each chapter with monthly assignments that are peer-reviewed. Online discussions and the assignments provide a collaborative learning environment. The program covers the textbook and assignments over the course of 19 months and requires a significant amount of time and dedication on the part of the students and the mentors. There's always a waiting list, so you might want to take a look at the list and see where this course might fit into your future educational plans. So, how do we gain from the e-learning experience? Make sure you've put the course on your calendar and a template for your notes. One suggestion is the Cornell note-taking system, a relatively simple method, and both Evernote and OneNote have templates that you can download to use, so give it a try if you find that your own notes from presentations aren't working. Have a filing system. I put everything in a genealogy education folder. The notes are titled with the course title and the date of the course. Now, a suggestion is to use the year, in this instance 2014, then the month in numbers, 10, then the date, 21. That way your notes and everything else, for instance handouts, is all in chronological order and you can easily see what you have. But do whatever works for you. Have a filing system and file at the end of the course. Otherwise, you'll forget and have to search for your notes. Check whether based on the course description, there's a reading list or some background study that would help you understand the course more easily. Read any handouts or assignments before the course starts so that you'll be prepared to listen critically and actively participate in any discussions. Do the work required in any course and do it early. Something will come up. It always does. And you don't want to be scrambling at the last minute or not give it your best effort. Now, the Cornell note-taking system looks a little bit like this. You divide the paper into 3 sections. At the top is the course name, the date, and the topic, and that's section A. You write the key points in section B. You write your notes in section C. Now, you review and clarify after the session, and that's when you can draw lines and connect B to C. And then you summarize the main ideas or the takeaways, those aha moments or what you need to be doing, and that's in section D. A template for the Cornell system, as I mentioned, is available in OneNote. It's just something to check out and see if it would work for you. Now, a quick reminder that e-learning is just like a school playground. It's all about being part of the learning community. While it's fine to start quietly, join in the fun at the playground and you'll find a tremendous amount of engagement. I'd encourage you to subscribe to YouTube channels, comment at blogs, check back at wikis, participate at Facebook groups and Google Plus communities, and join in some Twitter Gen chats. If you have any questions, why not post in our Legacy Virtual Users Group community and I'll do my best to answer them. And I know that I've only given you a few examples, so if you have any suggestions or websites to add to our resources handout, and that's that PDF that you saw a few weeks back with live links, be sure to post them here at the community. Thanks, and we'll see you back here tomorrow as we return to the alphabet and the letter P, all to celebrate Family History Month and learn a bit more about our legacy family tree software. Now, go out there and check out some e-learning opportunities.